Yo, everybody, welcome back to round 3 of Seasons Past John. Gonna fire up the game here. We are. This is round 2. We are on the play. Pause here. Keep a reasonable 7. Thought Season Rage Intervene, 2 lands. Gives us the ability to play Tarmogoyf. Third land gets us to Kolaghan's Command. So really, we're just looking to somehow get to this Obnixilis, make the game go long. We can go Urborg into Thoughtseize, which is how we started, or tap Rage Intervene, Urborg into Thoughtseize Fatal Push. So we picked Urborg Thoughtseize. So we cast a Thoughtseize. He's got this hand of cards, short on lands. So Aether Vial lets him play instant speed. It's pretty strong. Master Waves is probably the best card in his hand. Irrelevant creature that's going to be annoying. Irrelevant creature that's going to be annoying. Vapor Snag, Bouncing, Tarmogoyf. So I make a mistake here. I think I should take the Master of Waves. Just because it's the strongest individual card in his deck. And I mean, we're probably not going to have this Fatal Push. We're probably going to burn it on one of these two Dorcases. This doesn't kill Master Waves. This does, but it's a zillion mana away. So, like, we have to get an answer to this, and so we should just take it. Instead, I take the Aether Vial to try and poke a hole in his mana, which turns out not being the best here. So he plays Curse Catcher on turn 1. I played tapped Raging Intervene, drew a Lightning Bolt. So Lightning Bolt is another way to fry some fish here. Drew a tapped Raging, played tapped Raging Intervene, could Fatal Push this, decide not to, and just say go. Opponent happens to draw Island Curse Catcher. So he has 2 unknowns. One of them happens to be Master of the Pearl Trident. So here we could Fatal Push the Master of the Pearl Trident. He sacrifices the Curse Catcher. We don't take 2 damage. But I decide against it. I just let him come in for 2. And we spend our turn instead of. So here we're facing down 2/2/2s. Lord makes us a 3/3 and makes our life a lot harder. Our Tarmogoyf can't block any of this stuff. So we could play Tarmogoyf, he'd untap, and Vapor Snags, he plays a third land, has a Lord, we're in deep trouble. Otherwise, it's just like a Lord, attack, we can't block. So I go ahead and just bolt the Master now to try and stay out of getting buried under the Lords. And be able to pay for the Curse Catcher. So here he just plays Harbinger of the Tides, holds up Vapor Snag. So now we're just in a tempo black hole here. Because he's just going to get to eat us up with this Vapor Snag. So, unless we draw land. Because if we draw land, we can, like, Kolaghan's Command this, or we can play Tarmogoyf, have Fatal Push up, and maybe make him sacrifice this. But as it is, we're just eating our whole turn playing this Tarmogoyf because of the Vapor Snag being a tempo black hole for us. So we know he has a Master of Waves and an unknown card. We're hoping one of those cards is a land. Opponent hits land. That's we get attacked for 4 or for 3, and then he plays Master of Waves. This is where it gets kind of rough. If we had Thoughtseize this, he'd have an Aether Vial in play, 1 card left. We wouldn't have this Army of Elementals, and this Fatal Push would be pointed here or here, and we'd be in pretty good shape. As is, we need to break a fetch, crack the fetch, or find a fetch, crack it, Fatal Push here, terminate here, which makes him sacrifice this. And he has 4 power of attackers and an unknown card versus our 2 beatdown creatures and us at 10 life. So we go to 6, play Tarmogoyf, and potentially, or untap, Kolaghan's Command this, make him discard, you know, a couple various different ways. Unfortunately, we don't draw a fetch land here. We draw only on the last hope, which we have third land. Would be phenomenal. We could pop this, kills all this, leaves him with this. He has to attack the Liliana with everything to be able to kill it, but unfortunately we don't. We just die. So so we'll go to game 2 here. Oops. Turn. Game 2. So we're on the play again. Much more playable hand here. Got plenty of lands to cast all our threats. Inquisition into Kill Spell into Kolaghan's Command. Pretty good hand here. So I think we just end up fetching the tapped basic. Or a tapped duel here. Because we did board in our Anger of the Gods. So looking at our sideboard here, we boarded out P and Kieran, out an Inquisition and Thoughtseize, and both Lilianas and Kalidas. Boarded in a Pulse, an Abrupt Decay, a pair of Anger of the Gods, an Obstinate Baloth, and a Damnation. So he plays a Curse Catcher. We fetch a tapped red source. Play Wooded Foothills, Inquisition him, bluffing tap, fetch land. He has a big pile of lords. I think the best card to take here is Master of the Pearl Trident, just so he can't lord on turn 2. Would let him play second Curse Catcher, but if he has no land, he's in deep trouble. So I'm pretty sure we just take the Master of the Pearl Trident here. At least that'd be more easy on the fly. It looks like we did exactly that. So opponent doesn't have a land, plays a Curse Catcher. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We get to fetch our tapped shocks and sort of build our mana base slowly but surely. So Raging Ravine, just another tap land. Here we can fetch a basic with this, play the shock tapped, and our mana base is pretty well developed. Mutavault keeps him from playing any of the cards in his hand because they're all double blue. The 2 Curse Catchers are going to get some beatdown points on us, and are going to make things tricky for our Kolaghan's commands and various other spells later here. We draw a Tarmogoyf. So huge thing here. We got a blocker to get in front of all of this. As long as he can't Tidebinder Mage, we're good to go here. So I think we play tapped Overgrown Tomb and play Tarmogoyf. Oh, we play Forest and play Tarmogoyf, holding up Terminate. Which doesn't particularly make sense. I would rather have tapped Overgrown Tomb. So opponent doesn't draw an island, doesn't just come in with the guys. Great for us. We untap the full mana, have Maelstrom Pulse. We're just going to fetch a tapped shock with the land. We're going to get our beat down on with Tarmogoyf. So we're going to fetch a tapped shock with this, but we're going to bluff having a block with Raging Ravine and just blank our opponent's turn. So if our opponent animates into the Raging Ravine, we will just start eating their creatures. Opponent draws Marrow Reejery, or draws third land to be able to play Marrow Reejery. But since we attack Tarmogoyf, casts Harbinger of the Tides and bounces our Goyf, which is fine by us. We're just going to Kolaghan's command, killing the Harbinger of the Tides, making our opponent discard a card. The 2 mana bluffs against the 2 Curse Catchers. So we're just trying to get a 2-for-1 here. Just trying to get as many 2-for-1s as we can with our quality cards here. Because he's usually not going to kill Tarmogoyf, so we're not going to get a guy back. He pitches another Harbinger of the Tides, which is fine by us. It means we can attack more vigorously with our Tarmogoyf when we get there. Tap shock, like I said. Fatal Push is a great draw. Just cast Tarmogoyf, have Fatal Push with double Curse Catcher payment up. We should have played this Overgrown Tomb. Not quite sure why I didn't. Probably just trying to bluff having a bunch of valuable cards in my hand. Opponent goes ahead and plays Marrow Reejery. Has a couple of 2/2s. We just decide to go ahead and terminate the Reejery and see if he'll make the 2-for-1 trade of 2 Curse Catchers for a Lord. He chooses not to. Important information there. So probably has some Lords in their hand. Again, we sandbag our lands for no reason. Attack with Tarmogoyf. Our opponent has Tidebinder Mage, so if they want to shut down our Tarmogoyf, they can just Tidebinder it. Opponent plays Master of Waves, however. So, would like to have a Fatal Push here, or a fetch land here for Fatal Push, but I don't think we do. So we end up just Maelstrom Pulsing the Master of Waves. We drew Anger of the Gods. So we ended up playing Anger of the Gods instead and killing off. So had we not drawn the Anger of the Gods, we'd Maelstrom Pulse the Master Waves. But drawing the Anger of the Gods, it cleans up everything but the Master, and we just don't need to attack with our Tarmogoyf. We're going to pay for both and kill all the elementals. So we basically get a 3-for-1 or 2-for-1 here. 3-for-1 essentially because you've taken most of the card of Master of Waves. So now he just has a 2-1 blocker and a 3-3 attacker. We have a Fatal Push up to kill his man land. This would be a good time for him. So he plays Relic instead of Tidebinder Mage here. Just starts trying to Relic us. And then he casts Tidebinder to tap down our Tarmogoyf. We're just going to kill the Tidebinder. Take our 2. Oh, I guess we choose not to kill the Tidebinder now. The Abrupt Decay allows us to set up, make him break Relic when we want him to. We don't immediately unlock our Tarmogoyf, which kind of doesn't make sense to me, but opponent plays Lord of Atlantis, and we start to deploy our removal spells. Pretty sure we kill our opponent's Tidebinder, take 3, untap our guy, and set our opponent up for the blowout. So we have Damnation to wipe the board. It looks like we just attack, get the Relic broken. He blocks with Lord of Atlantis. Well, he doesn't block with Lord of Atlantis. So I'm surprised he didn't block with Lord of Atlantis there. Since he didn't block, we just get our 2 points of damage in. And have Rage intervene to blank his turn. It doesn't blank Mutavault, but it blanks this. So he chooses to play Master and attack with a 4/4, which we don't blank anymore. So he gets in for 7, puts us to 2. Has 2 cards left in hand, neither of which you know. So here is the point at which we need a little bit of help. We think about playing Maelstrom Pulse, but instead we play Huntmaster to gain a little bit of life, put another body into play, tapped land, which we could have used earlier to have a Maelstrom Pulse online now. But we're at 4. He doesn't have any Spreading Seas in play, so we're pretty happy here. He plays Mirror Readry, however, which is really bad for us, and activates his Mutavault. So now we have to just line up a bunch of chump blocks and go to stay at 4. But we get the Damnation away his board and Inquisition away any threats he has. So Inquisition takes his Relic. Unfortunately, he still has Master, which is really bad for us. We get the Damnation the board away. And then he attacks us for 2 and plays Master. He drew a land, attacked us for 2, and played Master. So, or attacked us for 3, put us to 1. So here we have to draw untapped, non-shot. So we have to draw a basic land, basically, or Urnborg, to be able to pulse plus activate Rage Intervene. And if we don't succeed there, we die, or we have to draw an instant speed removal spell that kills Mutavault, so not Abrupt Decay. Thankfully, we draw Lightning Bolt. Bolt kills Mutavault, Pulse kills Master. He gets the first crack at top deck mode, but we have a Rage Intervene to attack with. So I feel like we're in a pretty good spot here. Activates Mutavault. We bolt it, stay at 1. Draw the Nut, Seasons Past. So we're going to cast Seasons Past and get back a few cards here. I think we get Lightning Bolt, Tarmogoyf, Maelstrom Pulse, Huntmaster, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. Yep, those are the 4 we get back. Opponent lets that resolve, which leads me to believe he has either a land in his hand or a Vapor Snag. Because if he had a counterspell, he would have counter-choose the past and draw 4 cards. If he had a creature, he would have played it. If he had Spreading Seas, he would have played it to cantrip. So he could have played any creature, including Silvergill deck. So he either has to have Vapor Snag or land. Not playing land doesn't really tell us much. So I look at the board and I say that we can't win unless we deploy threats. Since we're at 1, if we play Tarmogoyf, it gets Vapor Snag. So I end up playing Huntmaster. And with Huntmaster's triggered on the stack, he tries to Vapor Snag for lethal. We trade our Bolt in to continue playing the game. Get a 2/2 Wolf. Play our tapped Shockland and then play our 5/6 Tarmogoyf. And prepare to go to Beat Downtown. Opponent plays Master. Thankfully, we rebought Pulse. We Pulse the Master, activate the Rage Intervene, and attack for exactly lethal. And get to play a game 3. Alright, here we are in game 3. We're on the draw. No changes to our sideboard. I'll bring that up. As you can see, no dress is brought in, 1/1 split out. Everything stayed the same. This hand is really good. Turn 1 we have Swamp Fatal Push, or we can play tapped Overgrown Tomb if he or she does nothing. Scavengers that can keep growing as we kill the creatures. 2 removal spells and then a Huntmaster at the top we can fetch a red-black source with. or a red-green source with. So we're in a really good spot with this hand. Opponent keeps 7, plays Relic Opportunist, which does make our Scavenger a little awkward, but that's fine. So we draw Kolaghan's Command, I put the red-green fetch into play here. So this is going to fetch us a red-green source. We're going to get exiled. So now we have Abrupt Decay and Scavengers up. I end up shocking myself and taking 2, threatening to Abrupt Decay or Fatal Push the Silver Gill Adept. That way we can play untap land on turn 3. Merfolk. Lord of Atlantis comes into play, and Lord of Atlantis gets Abrupt Decay, or Silver Gill Adept gets Abrupt Decayed, so that we don't take any damage. So now we're in a good spot here. We can break the Relic and the Lord. We can break the Lord, make him discard. So we play the Swamp, and we think about what we're going to do. We thought about casting a creature. Instead, we decide against it. Looks like I kill the Lord and make our opponent discard a card. Opponent discards Harbinger of the Tides. We get 2 for 1. Eats our Kolaghan's Command. And plays Mara Regery. We play Tireless Tracker, play a fetch land, get a clue. Opponent plays Harbinger of the Tides. This is a really nice interaction. Taps our. So this is a mistake we made. We should have broke our fetch and just killed this on our turn. Instead of letting our opponent play Harbinger of the Tides, tap our guy and bounce it. So we lost out on a bunch of tempo there, and that was just a bad play on my part. And I'll be the first to admit it. So we lose out on a bunch of tempo here. But then we draw Lightning Bolt, so we just get to play. We're going to play Tireless Tracker, hold up Lightning Bolt, but instead we play Huntmaster. Just to give us the most tempo back, gain a little life, make 2 bodies. Opponent continues to eat his way through our graveyard. Sprayed seizes our red-green source to cut down our red and our green. Also makes the Merfolk have Island Walk. Speaking of Island Walk, he gets to walk by us for 3, but instead decides not to attack, which is interesting. We just play a fetch land here. Attack with Wolf. Try to bait the 2 for 1. Opponent obliges us for the 2 for 1. We bolt the Lord and trade Wolf for Harbinger of the Tides. Play our fetch, or play our Tireless Tracker, and then play our fetch, and sort of pull ahead of our opponent here. Opponent plays Master, eats our thing, attacks with Mutant Vault. We do not oblige them, but break our fetch to get a black-red source, I'm going to guess. Oh, black-green. Get another clue. And here we can flip our Huntmaster, kill his Master of the Pearl Trident, leave up Fatal Push to kill the Mutant Vault, and draw 2 cards. So no attacks to have blockers. Flips the Huntmaster, kills the Master, he Vapor Snags it. He eats our fetch land. He takes 2, replays the Master. We break a few clues, end a turn here. I think we opt to Fatal Push the Master after drawing 2nd Fatal Push. And then we just get to go insane here. Our opponent played 2 spells to flip our Huntmaster back and give us a Wolf. I think we drew a fetch land here. Oh no, our opponent just conceded once we got the Wolf. If we draw a fetch land here, though, off of any of these clues, we play Tireless Tracker, or off of our draw step or a clue, we play Tireless Tracker, play a fetch land, get 2 clues, break, get 2 clues, and we're just so far ahead that our opponent can't possibly win. And that moves us to 3-0.